Hi, this is Jasper Cole from One on One with Jasper Cole, and you're listening to Without Your Head.
Welcome to the station at Decapitation Without Your Head. I'm Nasty Neal, and I'm joined by Ashley Park of Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter. How you doing tonight?
Hi.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. For people not familiar with the film yet, could you tell us what it's about?
Sure. A little bit about it. It is, it stars Tracy Birdsall as Deanna, and basically it's just a battle of fighting AI, or artificial intelligence, and it's kind of a journey of self-discovery and a lot of action. It'll be a fun film. I don't know how much I can really tell, but lots of action, lots of fighting AI.
Yeah. You don't want to spoil it for everybody.
Exactly. Don't want to spoil the surprises.
Exactly. So how did you get involved?
Well, actually, I knew Tracy from a project that we worked on together. It was actually my first feature film. We worked on a little independent when I first started in the business, and we stayed in touch, and turns out she was going to produce and star in Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter, which at the time was called Robot Fighter. I think actually it was originally called Robot Armageddon. And she brought me into audition, and they auditioned quite a few people, but they ended up circling back around to me. I think I was actually the first girl to audition for the part. So
Nice. So, besides knowing her, what interested you in the film?
Well, I read the script, and I was so excited because I just thought it would be a blast to work on a film that was so action-oriented and so, in the sci-fi genre. I hadn't gotten a chance to do anything like that yet, and when I read the script, I was so excited because it just seemed so exciting. The script was just different, and I was just really excited to audition for it, and then when I found out I got the role, I was very, very excited.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you is your character involved in a lot of the action?
Yes, my character comes in a little bit later in the film, and I am involved in quite a bit. I don't really have to do much stunt work, but, I definitely have quite a few scenes where I'm in the middle of the heat. Mm-hmm. Probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, so no injuries. So you weren't doing
no injuries, and I, as an actor, they kept everything, very safe, and I never got hurt or anything. So it was a really good set to work on. Lots of fun people.
Yeah. So have you seen the finished film yet?
No, I haven't. Not yet. It's supposed to be released in early 2016, and I'm really excited. I know that, they've been working on finishing all the post-production. So I've seen a few stills, and I've heard good things, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Yeah, because I would assume that it would be totally, different seeing it once, all the special effects are added, all the music, the score.
Exactly. I do believe there will be a lot of special effects, so that will be really cool to see, how they kind of transform everything from what you saw, on set as an actor compared to what you see on the film.
Yeah,
on the big screen. So I'm really excited for the premiere.
Yeah. So, you mentioned that. Was there some practical effects on set, or is it mostly CGI?
I think it's mostly CGI that they work with. Yeah, that we didn't have a lot of anything super crazy on set that I saw. but yeah, so I think a lot of it is CGI.
Yeah. Have you worked with CG before?
I haven't. I'm getting ready to shoot another sci-fi film in January, and I know there's going to be a lot of CGI, so I'm really excited about that, another sci-fi film. But yeah, that was actually my first time, so I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
What was that experience like for you to, react to something that's not there?
It was fun. I'm a very overly imaginative person. As a child, I think my parents always used to joke that I would, make up things that weren't even there. And that's always kind of been easy for me. Even at auditions and stuff, I love to audition for horror films and fantasy types of things because I love kind of pretending with things that aren't there, but making myself believe that they are. So I actually had a blast on set getting to do a lot of imagining, dream work.
Yeah. So you said you like to audition for horror movies. Are you a horror movie
Mhm.
fan?
I do. I like horror films. I'm kind of a baby about it, but for some reason I want to be in them. I want to act in them.
Uh-huh.
But when I watch them, I'm such a girl. I'm like the girl that, has the pillow over her face and, screams at everything and jumps, when nothing happens. But I love them. I absolutely love them. But I think I'm more of a fan of getting to act in them because once I see them, they actually really do terrify me.
Uh-huh. Well, what are some of
Very
your
easily frightened.
yeah? What are some of your favorites?
I love the Insidious series.
Mm-hmm.
I might be slightly biased because I just did a film with one of the stars of Insidious, and I watched all of them because I just wanted to see her. But they're so creepy. So I love Insidious. I love the paranormal movies, especially the first couple, the first few. I really, really liked those. I would say. What's another one that I watched recently? I won't make you wait while I think about it, but there's definitely The Conjuring. That's the one that really scared me.
Yeah. So you like a lot of like the ghost stories.
I do. Yes, I would have to say I'm definitely partial to supernatural and ghost films. Not so much the slasher serial killer ones. I'm not a huge fan of gory knife wielding films as much. I definitely like the supernatural thriller ghost type of movies.
Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. I would say no, but then there's a part of me sometimes that I think I do. So I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings on that.
Mm-hmm. I would think if you're on the fence about it anyway, that would add to your to the horror when you're watching a movie about them.
Exactly, right? Well, after I watch a scary film where, there's always someone in the film who says, "Oh, this isn't real. You're overthinking it. That ghost doesn't exist." And then of course they do, and then the person who didn't believe in it dies. Then after the film I'm like, I don't know. So, yeah, I guess I'm sort of gullible.
Yeah. I read that Rogue Warrior, a lot of the scenes were filmed on different locations from other science fiction films, like Return of the Jedi and Planet of the Apes, and
Sure.
what was that like for you? Does that like add to the atmosphere when you're filming the movie?
Oh, absolutely. It was really fun to go on location. Now, for my scenes, we went out to Salton Sea, which was a really cool area. I'd actually never been there before. And it was just really, really interesting area. I didn't go out to some of the other places that I know Tracy and some of the other actors filmed at because my scenes weren't there. But, getting to shoot on location is always a blast, especially in such an interesting place like Salton Sea.
Yeah. So what would you say was the hardest thing about making the film?
It was really hot. The week that we went out to the desert was that really random week back in March, I think, or April. I can't remember exactly when it was. But it was in the spring sometime. But we had a really freak week of hot weather in SoCal where it was like 100 degrees. So when we went out to the desert, we were like, what? It's spring. But it was extremely hot. So that was kind of tough, especially as a girl, you have to deal with makeup and that kind of thing. So you don't want to look completely drenched. So that was probably the hardest part, was just the heat. Yeah.
I was in LA in April, I think. I don't think it was too bad then.
Okay. Maybe it was April. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember it was like a really, really randomly hot week.
So you mentioned you worked with Tracy before this movie, and then she asked you to be in this film. So I assume you had a good relationship with her.
Oh, absolutely. Tracy's wonderful. She's, one of the nicest people ever. And, we always kept in touch ever since we worked on our first project together, just especially around the holidays and that kind of thing, and just finding out, what each other was up to. And, she's been really, really rising in the sci-fi genre. And it was really, really nice of her to think of me for this role and to let me audition for it so that, I could get a chance to also work in sci-fi. And like I said, I've been fortunate enough. I don't know if this helped me or not, working on Robot Fighter, but I, got another sci-fi feature film for January, which I'll be shooting. So that's really cool that I get to also kind of go into this genre since it's something that also really interests me.
Yeah. Well, what's the movie that's being filmed in January, if you can talk about it all?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's called Trapdoor. It is a desert sci-fi. It's kind of a female-focused thriller, kind of like The Descent.
Oh, it's a fantastic
Well,
movie.
it's in the same route as The Descent. I don't know if The Descent was really female-focused, but
it was.
It's okay. Well, perfect. And then it's lots of action sports mixed with creature feature. So it's going to be a lot of fun to shoot. I'm really, really excited about it. We start shooting towards the end of January.
Mm-hmm. Do you like science fiction movies?
I never really liked them too much until the last couple of years. I, definitely like sci-fi-oriented TV shows, so I'd say I watch more television shows that go towards, like, the futuristic sci-fi route, like Orphan Black and just Continuum. Shows like that are some of my favorites. And then, of course, I love Star Wars and Star Trek, of course, so...
Uh-huh. Well,
yeah.
You mentioned movies about AI, artificial intelligence, and that's always been part of storytelling in movies and books and whatnot. But it seems like it's more so now. Why do you think it interests people, and why do you think it also can scare people?
Sure. Well, I think that AI is something that's still a little bit of an unknown to us. I think that just kind of like ghosts, we don't really know if they exist. We don't really understand them. And there's something about the unknown, I think, that both frightens and excites people. And I think AI is kind of the same way. I think that, there's so much yet to be discovered about what can be done with AI. And, there's all this talk from scientists about, the possibility of AI, becoming, overpowering humans one day, And so I think that that's something that's both interesting and scary at the same time. And it's different, So especially if you watch the show Humans, it's crazy, to watch that and see, just how much of a humanoid those robots are on the show, and it's really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, I saw that that Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter is actually going to become a TV show in 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe so. I don't know a lot about it. This was just announced pretty recently. I think it's going to be called Gods of War.
Yeah.
But yes, I haven't actually heard a lot about it because I know originally Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter was going to be a 3-part movie series. I think that's what it originally was going to be, so I'm not sure if they're still planning on doing that or if the TV show is kind of overtaking that, but I'm sure I'll find out soon, especially when Rogue Warrior actually comes out and everything becomes a little bit more clear.
Mm-hmm. Will you be involved in those, or are you not sure yet?
I certainly hope so, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, we hope you are. Yeah, now you mentioned
Definitely.
Yeah, we mentioned horror and sci-fi, but what kind of films do you watch normally?
I watch a little bit of everything. I would say I watch more TV shows than I do films. I am very much a girly girl, so I love rom-coms. I love comedies, and then, of course, I love every new Disney film that comes out, animated or not animated. So I usually watch pretty much all of those. But I really do watch a little bit of everything. I like to study everything, and I do watch a lot of TV shows. Some of my favorites recently have been, Game of Thrones and Orphan Black, like I said before. I love Continuum, The Following, Penny Dreadful is one of my recent favorites. So, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones myself.
Oh, yeah, it's a great, great show. I can't wait till April.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, how can
me too.
Yeah, how can people follow you online?
The best way is to find me on Instagram at XOAshleyPark. The other way is Twitter. It's also XOAshleyPark. And I will have a Facebook fan page soon, starting in January, I believe. So that'll be another way. But for now, Instagram and Twitter is best.
Hmm. So how did you get involved in acting to begin with? Like, what made you want to become get involved in movies?
Sure. Well, when I was really young, it was something that I always wanted to do. But I actually started going in the route of athletics at a really young age. So I started running long distance, and it turned out I wasn't so bad at it. So I was actually involved in cross country and track very competitively all the way until like a few years ago. So it took up most of my life because I trained probably 4 or 5 hours a day.
Hmm.
And I was just very focused on that. And it took a while until I was kind of done with my running career when I realized I don't know what to do next with my life. And for some reason, I just went back to acting, which had been my first idea. And I haven't looked back. It's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun, and definitely love it.
Hmm. Now, since you have the athletic background, you should have been doing some of your stunts on the movie.
Definitely. Well, no, I mean, I did, my own stunt work, but I really didn't need a lot
Oh,
for
okay.
the film.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can definitely do my own. I can hold my own for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. I didn't want you, jumping around and getting injured or anything. But I saw that Marilyn Gigliotti is also in the movie from Clerks fame, and were you on
Mhm.
set with her at all?
No, I wasn't. I think she worked a lot with Tracy separately. So no, I didn't have a chance. It's crazy, how sometimes you work on a movie with multiple people and someone's like, "Oh, you worked with this person." I'm like, "Yes, I did. However, I never saw them on set." So it's funny how that works sometimes.
Yeah. Did you get to keep any props?
No, actually, I don't think I did. I think that most everything, yeah, I don't think I did.
Mhm. Do you ever do that from any other movies? Keep anything that you had on set, either wardrobe or
Um,
props?
every now and then. Most of the time, you usually have to give everything back, but sometimes, like I worked on a web series recently, and they were kind enough to let me keep my entire wardrobe
Oh,
that they
yeah.
purchased for me
Oh, okay.
throughout the web series. So that's nice, when you get free clothes and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
usually, most of the time, you need to give things back because it's usually used. Again, if it's a TV production or even a film production, they like to use the props over and over again.
Right, right. When you said you usually give it back, but sometimes I thought you were gonna say sometimes you just steal it, but no,
Oh, right.
you're giving it back.
No, no, no. No, I can't remember a time I've ever stolen anything
What?
besides a bagel from craft services.
Uh-oh. But no, that's very good here. I'm not here to interrogate you and find out any crimes that you've
Oh,
committed.
I know. Funny.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the movie, and so it'll be out in
Me too.
January. Now, is it going to be at the theaters? Going to be on video on demand?
I'm actually not sure. I'm sure that they'll, give us a really good breakdown of, where exactly it's going to be once they finalize everything. But for the time being, I don't know. But of course, I will, announce it on social media, as I'm sure Tracy will as well. So I'm sure it'll be everywhere once an actual date is announced for whenever it's coming out and where it will be released.
Mm-hmm. Well, very cool. I appreciate coming on tonight and talking to
Of
us about
course.
the movie.
Of course. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, and continued success.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Hey, this is Menard Chambers from Turbo Kid, and you're listening to Without Your Head.